Okay, I'm back. I have a fever, but I'm going to record these last couple emails that I've had sent in. So this one is from Sherry. She says, I was 9 years old, or I was a 9-year-old fourth grader when I moved to Royal City, Washington on January 14th, 1976. My parents tried to help my moving anxiety with the knowledge of a distant cousin. We figured fifth, Susan Rookstool. Little did I know that we would become inseparable best friends. Our names were seldom called alone, but rather Susan and Sherry, as if we were one person or the Bobbsey twins. We had a special friendship without quarrels or competition, mostly due to Susan's sweet disposition. We would get together to play as much as we could, convince our parents. We lived a good 20-minute drive apart, as my family lived on the west end of Royal slope on the Frenchman Hills, and Susan's family lived in a Royal camp. This is also where the LDS chapel was, so we would often talk our parents into letting us play for the afternoon after Sunday school, and then meeting up with our families at sacrament meeting in the evening. I usually stayed in Royal Camp at Susan's for Sunday playdates. Sleeping over was a rare event. I remember a fun school bus converted into a playhouse at the Kindles. Down the street from Susan's house. We would spend our hours creating our make-believe play. Susan, who also had a horse named Lightning. We didn't ride it on Sunday, but enjoyed riding it all the other days of the week. We especially had fun going to the Grant County Fair. Susan was in 4-H and would let me tag along for the week. After the work was done, we would take our passes and ride the carnival rides all evening long. The octopus and the zipper were our favorites. We were middle schoolers at this point, and boy, were we cool. Susan's dad, Clark, was a big part of my memories of Susan. He had a giant smile and heart to match. His laugh was contagious, and he would entertain us with dinner dates to celebrate Susan's birthday. One time, he took us to Chinese dinner and convinced me to try hot mustard on my pork. My head was on fire as we laughed at my reaction. One of those fun dates, we went shopping, and Susan and I found matching ski vests, yellow with blue-red stripes. Now we were really twins. It seemed the only difference between us was Susan's hair was blonde and my brunette hair. As high school approached, we became busier with sports, work, early morning seminary, and young women activities. Neither of us came from lots of money, but rather happy homes that taught us the value of work. These values carried us through as we paid for our own school clothes and activities, camps, etc. Susan had special talent of sewing. I was amazed at the things she would create. I remember her even sewing a pair of blue jeans and me being so impressed. She would also sew me gifts like pillowcases, decorative pillows, etc. that I treasure and keep in my hope chest to this day. One of our year-round jobs was cleaning houses. Each of us had a client with a large home that we were responsible to clean each week. Summers provided us with more time to work, and we would often spend them side by side in orchards and fields. One summer, we also learned to water ski. Every day after we finished our pruning the apple trees, we would head to O'Sullivan Dam, where Scott Dixon would patiently teach us to ski. We also shared the love of playing sports. In winter, it was basketball or cheerleading for basketball, which were both lots of fun. In the spring, we shared great moments of being state volleyball champs our junior and senior years. We also shared many memories through our years as Royal City Knights in leadership roles, fun dates, school dances, many summer nights, dragging up and down the street of Moses Lake, and let's not forget the infamous stake dances that we'd always get hyped up for and were mostly disappointed. We were normal boy crazy girls, and most always had a crush or some sort of relationship in our world. All the sports, church, and extra activities kept us out of trouble, at least for the most part. Susan was always much more responsible and cautious than I was. She even lived with her grandparents our senior year as her family moved to Juneau, Alaska. on a new adventure. The timing wasn't so great for Susan. I'm glad that she stayed in Royal City, even though I know it was a difficult year for her. High school graduation came, and we celebrated all night long, party hopping and finding our classmates in states we had never imagined. Haha. We had never been the partying type. Darla Amoruso was another one of our dear friends and spent this night with us. We ended up in Moses Lake at an all-night dinner where we ate breakfast in the middle of the night. We were a bit crazy because we had to leave our state softball tournament, or leave for our state softball tournament the next morning. Mr. Schmidt didn't give us any regulations, but maybe he should have. We still took first place in the tournament, and that was an awesome moment. Susan left to spend the summer in Alaska with her family, and I had a silly, brief wedding engagement. We both worked all summer and met up in Rexburg, Idaho at Ricks College. We had a great freshman year as roommates learning to be adults. I still remember our matching bedspreads and our ghetto blasters. So we could listen to our cassette tapes and the radio. We both wrote elders on missions during this year, Mark and Brett, our previous high school sweethearts. We continued to be hard workers as we had jobs on campus, sadly. This was the year that we would separate us for many to come, only in miles, never in heart. Susan would be married the following fall, 1985, and me the summer of 1986, both in the Seattle Temple where our primary pennies had been donated. And we also attended the dedication when we were 12 or 13. We had experienced our first temple baptisms together in Cardston, Canada, and looked so forward to the Seattle Temple being opened. Of course, we were each other's maids of honor. Marriage in real life seemed to be the beginning of our real life lesson learning. We didn't get to see each other very often, as Susan was in Alaska and me in Washington State. I remember her bringing her kids to visit me at Deer Lake. We bought matching sweatsuits for our boys, Tommy and Taylor. I guess we couldn't stop with our twinning. A few years later, Susan worked for Alaska Airlines in Juneau and invited me on a trip to Mexico with her and some of her new girlfriends. A girls' trip to Mexico. I had never imagined such a trip. We went to Ixtapa and Zihuatanejo, Mexico, and had the time of our lives. Shopping, eating, swimming, relaxing on the beach, soaking up the sunshine in the winter was all a dream world to mothers of small children. Not long after the trip, both of our lives began to really change, something we had never planned or imagined for ourselves and our children. We both divorced. Our situations were very difficult but equally challenging. We relied on each other with phone calls and chats. Since those challenging times, we were both remarried, Susan to Tom Fishback and me to John Schwab. We have learned through our experiences and have found life to be good. Not that it doesn't continue to bring challenges. I'm continually amazed at Susan's talents as she continued with her education and received a master's in psychology. So very amazing. Our friendship has been very, very special to me. I cherish it and recognize that not everybody has a friendship like ours. No matter how much time goes by between visits, we pick right back up where we left off, and it's as if we were never apart. Susan's a dear and special friend. I remember always being sad. I had to wait 6 months after Susan's birthday before I could wear makeup, go to stake dances, get my driver's license, and go on a date. It seems to get a bit easier watching her birthday come sooner. Sherry Phillips Swab. Susan, I love you so much. You're a dear best friend and a huge part of my life. I am eternally grateful for all we've shared. Enjoy your special day. Happy 50th. Love, Sherry. Okay. I have another one too. Let me find it real quick. It's from Lisa Fannin. A little happy birthday wish. Let me grab it. Here we go. She says, "Hi Susan, a big shout out to you on your 50th birthday, my friend. I miss you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Stay warm up there in Washington. If you get cold, come visit me in Florida. Love you, Lisa.